The Youngstown City Schools is not civilly liable for the 2014 death of Faith McCullough, an East High School student who was killed when she stumbled off the sidewalk near the school and was run over by a city school bus. The ruling ends the lawsuit unless the girl's family appeals. And the Youngstown Warren Regional Airport has been awarded a $1.2 million federal grant. Congressman Tim Ryan says the money will be used to make improvements to the runway lighting and rebuilding one taxiway. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio Newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
For your home or business, call Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Partly sunny today, high near 85. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 64. Mostly sunny tomorrow, Sunday, high near 88.
Great Garage Doors has been in business 35 years because of the people that we have in the field. Very experienced technicians, and we handle a quality product. One of the reasons for our success is the amount of doors that we keep in stock and are able to give customers really fast service. We keep 5 trucks on the road every day for fast repair work. Thank you again to the thousands of customers that have made Great Garage Doors great.
When your vehicle needs collision and paint repairs, you want quick, reliable service you can trust. Coal Valley Collision Center has been a leader in service and repairs for 104 years. They are I-CAR Gold Class certified for their commitment to professionalism and skill when serving their customers. Coal Valley Collision is a charter member of the Cadillac Aluminum Repair Network, and they feature a state-of-the-art paint booth, frame aligning capabilities, and much more. Visit coalvalleycollision.com for more information and to schedule your appointment today.
Folks who suffer from arthritis, back pain, knee pain, bursitis, or fibromyalgia, learn about targeted pain relief in just 15 minutes. Listen to Discoveries in Health this Sunday morning at 8:30, right here on News Radio 570 WKBN.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and we get to do this here on Saturdays. Talk about things that are happening in tech, business in general, physics, science, the whole thing. Everything that's interesting in my melon, it's fair game to bring up as a topic all show long. If you have problems or questions in the technology or computer world, feel free. All program long if you want to hit me up and make a phone call in, 330-729-9977, or you can text me. During the program, 330-333-1570 is the 570 WKBN text line, and I'll be monitoring those as we go throughout the program today. And I did get yelled at again for talking too fast, and so apologies in advance. I've never been able to sort of stop the tempo of my speech. I'm not a slower down. I've got 9 hours worth of content that I have to fit in a 2-hour spot, and so I have to speed it up and get through some of the sentences faster. So I apologize for all of you who would really wish that I would slow down, and I really do try at times to really slow the cadence, but sometimes it's just difficult for me. It's just the way that I am, I guess. 330-729-9977. Little PSA, Morris Ray called me a little while ago, and he said, "Hey, I'm witnessing this downtown offering down at the Covelli Center, and we need to help get the word out that this is going on." So they're offering some free medical services downtown, and they're even throwing in the bus transportation. The bus routes are going downtown. So if you're in need of either some medical screenings or optical screenings or dental screenings, all that kind of stuff. They're doing a whole medical fair down there where you can get free stuff in the medical area. So if you're in need of those kind of services, please take advantage of this today. Morris Ray made sure that he let me know about it, and they're there until 6 o'clock today, and I believe 4 o'clock tomorrow. So if you're in need of and putting off going to see a doctor, either for sight, dental, or health, please take advantage of this down at the Covelli Center and get a ride down there, take the buses down there. But it'll be until 6 o'clock this evening down Covelli Center downtown. So thanks, Morris Ray, for looking out for the 570 listeners out there and letting me know so I could get the word out. So 330-729-9977. Before we get into anything, let's go to Gene. Gene's already on the phone lines. Gene, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Good morning, Mr. Good afternoon, Mr. Danier. I am a customer of yours.
Yes.
And recently I spent about $1,400 having you remake my computer. And it's been within the last 30 days. And that Joe from Warren, you know who I'm talking about?
Okay.
He was my technician, and he did a wonderful job.
Excellent.
However, yesterday I was using my computer, and now I can't use it anymore. And what it's doing is at the desktop, all it's doing is flashing the icons, and I can't do anything. I can't. Do I have any warranty under what you just gave, what I just sold me about? It's been less than 30 days ago that I bought this stuff.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, we have a replacement warranty. So if anything dies before it should, we will just make sure that we cover it. We don't want to make you do anything except for receive a new computer. So yeah, if it's dead, something went wrong, we'll absolutely cover it.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. We only bought this. The last time he was here was, I believe, the week after Labor Day.
Okay.
So I was hoping that you would. And by the way, Joe, the guy from Warren, did a wonderful job helping me.
Excellent.
I'm not complaining. I was just concerned about having to pay for more services with the warranty here. I didn't know what the warranties stood for.
There you go. So yeah, I'll make sure he knows about it on Monday, and I'll have him get in touch with you and touch base.
Would you please? Thank you, sir. Like I said, I was really concerned about the money I spent. I'm sure you would cover it. I
Absolutely.
was just concerned, that's all.
Okay. All right, Gene, thank you so much.
You do a wonderful job on your show, and you do a great job, and I want to tell you that.
Okay. Thanks, Gene. Appreciate you being out there. Appreciate your support. I really appreciate you bringing your business to us, and that goes with all of you. I mean, we went from 2 years ago, our goal was to sell 1 or 2 computers per week. And we went out to you guys and said, hey, you guys got the opportunity here to enable a company that wants to do business here and wants to manufacture here and wants to employ here. All you have to do is, when it's time to buy a computer, bring that computer business to us, and then we will employ people here in Northeast Ohio. We will source as many of the products as local as we can possibly get, our assemblies here, our services here, and all that kind of stuff. And you guys showed up big time. We're doing now probably 4 or 5 computers a week as far as sales goes. We're booked all the way throughout the end of the year. So you guys are coming through in spades, and we really appreciate it. That kind of gives me, in some businesses, 4 and 5 sales per week isn't anything, but this is on top of a full field service schedule as well. So doing that's almost keeping one person busy all the time just doing the computer sales, and we're gonna keep we're going to keep doing this. Now, our ploy here is anybody can build a computer. In fact, everybody who interviews with me says that one of the first things that qualifies them to work for me is that they know how to assemble a computer. Well, we're not looking to be just like everybody else. We're not looking to commoditize. I want to be able to pay our people really well. I want to be able to sell really quality stuff. And people are surprised. We had one of our commercial clients that when they buy equipment for us, we don't mess around with taking care of the people who take care of us. And we don't worry about the out of a 30-day warranty and trying to bail on something happening. So this was the case where we sold them a monitor a year ago. And the monitors and all the equipment that I buy, I source it from any supplier or any manufacturer that has a less than 5% failure rate. Okay, so we know all of this computer equipment eventually, has an end date on it. It's electronic, so it goes bad. But I want it to be so that when people buy from me, they don't experience a lot of that. So when you get into these cheaper end machines, they might have a 20 or 30% failure rate on that equipment, and I just couldn't tolerate it. There would be too many people who go through the hassle of getting a new computer and then have to go do it all over again when a board gives out or something like that. And most of this equipment that I put in the field, I put in businesses, and so they need the consistency of something lasting. So when we come across and we source things at 5%, meaning every 100 machines that we sell, 5 of them are going to need to be replaced. So we build that into our pricing so that if you should lose one, a power supply goes out or a motherboard goes out or something like that, a new computer comes out to you and we take the old one. If it went bad, we don't try to figure it out or fix it. We just have that already built into our model that we know that it's going to happen when it does. We want to make sure that we come through for you as quick as possible. And if we build it in the cost, it means we're expecting it and we can cover it, and we're not at a disadvantage. So that's what you get from our company. We just do things a little bit different is all. So I want to thank Gene for bringing his business, and all of the listeners. You guys have always been so super loyal to everything that we've done, and we're going to keep going. I've been ramping up parts replenishment so that we can keep putting more and more inventory on the shelves, and we are selling every piece of equipment that comes through our door. So you guys are coming through in the clutch. So I want anybody who accuses of the Youngstown area of not supporting our own is mistaken, because anytime I've ever asked anything from anybody, you guys have always come through, and I will always tell you how much I appreciate the way that you guys come through for me, and it was my personal obligation to then take and create jobs here. And I'll tell you, like our level 2 service people, I mean, they're $50,000 a year jobs. So we're not looking at we're looking at some professions, people who can make a living and settle down and raise their family where they're not looking to bounce out of the air. So we got really low cost of living, and we've got jobs that are, really trying, to get a foothold here, where it's cheaper for you to buy computers elsewhere. I know that, and that's why I'm not bashful about saying that you're going to pay more markup and more margin on the stuff that you buy from me. And when I know that you're doing that on purpose, spending more money on something you can get cheaper, I make sure that I come through for the marketplace and come through on my promises to do what I can to, like I said, create the jobs here, employ the people here, source the stuff from as much United States. It's tough in electronics to get stuff from the United States, but we had a company, Patriot, and they were United States. They made memory, and so for the longest time we purchased Patriot memory. We paid up for it. We could get memory for $60 and $70 a stick, and we were paying $100 and $120 a stick because it was made in the United States. So then it was there's some stuff that you just can't get here, but when you can, I like to make sure that we at least give an attempt to get some stuff here in the United States. And I even have on the horizon, we primarily just pick components that we like and we know that are good, and then we assemble them. We're not manufacturing anything on our own, but there's some things that we can do when we start doing volume, like making our own cases and doing more branding where it's specifically a YC build. So all of you, ground floor, helping us put this together, again, I appreciate it. And Gene, thanks for the phone call. And yes, you will be taken care of. I will see to it that on Monday we get somebody out to see what's going on. And it might not be failure, but if it is, we got you covered no matter what. Okay, so 330-729-9977. Let's go. Actually, I'm going to bring up my first topic, and we could kind of spend some time during the show on this because it's a little bit, there's some depth to it, and I want to make sure that we sort of give it its due. And we've done previous shows on it, and I brought it up, and it's sort of like a scary proposition, but it's something that is so likely to happen that if we don't start talking about it and figuring out what we're going to do about it now, I mean, it's really going to snap up by surprise, and we're all just going to get mad about it later. When there's tons of things that we can do now, our leadership could take the front seat on this and do something about it. So we have either technology or artificial intelligence eventually will we sort of like remove all of the low-skill labor from our markets, like in a heartbeat, gone, right? So anything that a robot can do or software can do, the efficiency of business is just, this curve is amazing to watch play out. And so you're going to see so many displaced people. So what happens when we have robotics and self-healing software, right? So instead of your software just breaking, what if the code has algorithms that fix itself and reinstalls itself and fixes itself? So a guy like me goes in the field that does all of this, like figures out a way to make things working. What happens when it starts becoming self-healing? Well, it's great for those who have the software and say, this is really robust software. It heals itself. But what about the people like me who made a living supporting that when eventually it just disappears? When we've taken electronics and we've commoditized it, so you buy something once and the hardware just grows with you, or the software. Again, displacement is likely to happen and be affected in every industry. You know, we have these self-driving autonomous semi-trucks, right? I read the statistics on it. You just drive down one highway, and there are tons of people employed behind the seat of semis, which we know 100% chance we are going to replace some of them by having robotics do a good share of that. Maybe the long distances get put on an autonomous track and you just have local deliveries. But each one of those positions has a person behind it and a livelihood behind it and a family behind it. And so when those people get displaced, then what? What do we have them do? And so everything from our education, the way that we do our the training for the trades, all of that stuff has to start changing now when we have this surplus of people who are looking for something to do, and where they were likely to do or what they were already doing dries up and they can't do that anymore. So when you start saying, okay, well, what's the track of somebody who made a living and has a skill set in transportation? They've got driving ability, they can pay attention, they have great eyesight, you know, their cognitive ability is right where it needs to be. What does that skill set translate in other markets that have not been automated? And how much of our labor markets can be automated to the point where really human beings aren't necessary for certain things? And you know, there are people in our society, and I mentioned it before, the low-skilled labor. What the heck are they going to do when the only thing that they can do is not needed? I mean, are we just going to, you know, write them off and know that that's going to be a part of our, part of the cycle of our innovation? Is that there's going to be just loss of people that just don't have a place for any kind of livelihood and just be okay with that? I'm thinking that, you know, we're smarter than that, and we can figure out a way. And we talked last year about this time where you take low-skilled people who have no educational ability and don't feel like doing anything, and you put them on a treadmill, and we convert their kinetic energy into electricity, and at least have them power and generate all of the machines that took what jobs they would have had they not been replaced. And that's in jest. We don't really expect to harvest people's kinetic energy and turn it into electricity, but you can see that we've got to find something for some of these people to do, and we've got to have options that start to happen now instead of just hoping, the unions are going to fight so that doesn't happen, and government's going to fight so that doesn't happen. But I don't really think you're going to throttle this one down to not happening. I think it's going to happen. You might be able to put some blockades in it and slow it down, but you're going to see it's always going to civilization is always going to advance, and the next leg of advancement is efficiencies. I mean, does there have to be, cops speed, with radar guns for speed? You have a car that's doing a speed connected to the internet. Your car can tell on you right now, which means that your car could police you. Software could police you. There doesn't have to be a human being that has to make a subjective response on your speeding. You can go, if the law is that the speed limit's 50 and you go 56, the minute your car 56, the car sends out a signal to some computer somewhere that says you sped, and you just get a little ticket that shows up in the mail and says, car, and it was objective. It does happen to everybody. An ambulance goes too fast, hey, it gets the same speeding ticket. A cop goes too fast, hey, get the same speeding ticket. So our civilization is going to get to a point of efficiency. Anyway, 330-729-9977. You can text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
At the top and 30 minutes past the hour, we get to the bottom.
Of what happened
of today's top stories.
Some very big things.
It's a story that you have to hear.
For top-of-mind awareness,
keep you informed. I like to listen.
570 WKBN.
Our 2019 iHeartRadio Music Festival. The artists you told us you love on the iHeartRadio app. Hosted by Ryan Seacrest from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Watch live on the CW app and CWTV.com. And listen on iHeartRadio. Continuing tonight at 10 p.m.
Capital One is a proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products and access to unique and unforgettable experiences to our customers. What's in your wallet? it.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. And right now, get your first online visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. forhims.com/joy.
Our customers love our refreshing and easy sales process at Fairway Ford in Canfield. With our easy and simple sales process, you work with only one person the entire time. Within minutes, you know the price, trade-in value, interest rate, and payment. There's no back and forth negotiating and no running to the secret guy in the back room at Fairway Ford. Come experience true hassle-free car buying. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Before the cold weather kicks in, call Price Heating and Cooling for service and maintenance. Price Heating and Cooling prides themselves on their outstanding customer service and expertise. And Carrier Fall Cool Cash is here with fall rebates up to $1,650 or 72-month special financing on qualifying Carrier systems. Now through November 15th. Don't wait till the snow starts falling to get your heating system in order. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity to save. As always, visit priceheating.com for service specials and coupons. Or call today, 1-800-SAVE-PRICE.
It's the fall clearance event at General RV in North Canton. This Monday to Sunday, enjoy our lowest prices on hundreds of overstocked models. Shop and save on everything from family-friendly trailers and fifth wheels to gas and diesel motorhomes. With travel trailers as low as $9,999 and motorhomes starting at $49,999. You'll save thousands. All RVs must go during the fall clearance event. This week only at General RV in North Canton off I-77. Prices exclude tax, title, registration, and fees. See dealer for details.
You know, on average, a burglary happens once every 23 seconds in the USA. Now remember, most companies really don't make it easy. That's why Simply Safe is my top choice. Simply Safe, they'll protect every door, every window, every room in your home, 24/7, professional monitoring, and it's only $15 a month. No contract to sign, no hidden fees, no fine print. And here's what's great about Simply Safe. When other security systems are triggered, a lot of the time the police assume it's a false alarm. The call goes to the bottom of the list. But with Simply Safe Home Security, they now have video verification technology, and that enables them to visually confirm a break-in, allowing the police to get to the scene 3.5 times faster than other home security companies. And right now, you'll get a free HD security camera when you order your system at simplysafehannity.com. That's simplysafehannity.com. You get a free HD camera with your Simply Safe home security system. simplysafehannity.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. Been doing this over a decade, talking about things that are happening in tech, and we open the floor to all of you, so that some of you are sort of early on in your journey in tech, and maybe you have a little mistrust, maybe that you have a little insecurities about putting so much of your life in the hands of digital, and so this show is great for giving you the confidence to decide for yourself whether or not these tools are for you or not. And so we just delve in the truthfulness of it, so that we give you the things that could happen. We give you the strategies to be able to defend against it. And we allow you to dabble with some backup. And that's really what it is. You can come to us and ask us, what you should do and share your experiences, because there's 100 other of you out there in the listening audience that don't have the confidence that you just had to do that certain thing. And when you talk about it, it makes them feel all better. So there's a lot of insecurities just in not knowing something. A lot of us are really good in our wheelhouse, and this stuff we know we're being forced into, and we're not really good at it. So we sort of deny our involvement for a period of time just because of that. And you're truly at a disadvantage if you swear this stuff off too long. 330-729-9977. Let's go to Ron. Ron, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Yes, I have a Windows Toshiba satellite, bought it in 2014. It's been working fine until last week, and I was using it in the morning. When I went back in the afternoon, I could not connect to my wireless. I have some other devices that are connecting to the wireless. I did reset the modem and the router, and I still had no luck. If I put my Ethernet line in there directly, everything works fine. So it's my wireless connection. I tried to go to network adapters and uninstall and reinstall, but they tell me I have the most up-to-date or latest, so I'm puzzled as to what I need to do.
Okay, usually, and this is like most of the time, on those satellites, they have a button, usually a function key, that will allow you to toggle the wireless radio on and off. And a lot of times that radio will get turned off. So even though the adapter shows there and the drivers are there, it's not actually seeing any of the Wi-Fi stuff. I think it's usually if you hold the function key down, it's like an F key to turn it on, or it might have its own switch where it has the little wireless symbols. But that's kind of where I would start to make sure the radio isn't powered off.
Okay, yeah, I think my wireless symbol is lit up. So that's okay. But I will check that.
Okay, and second thing, you might have to clear, like your computer will make these wireless profiles of usernames and passwords for SSIDs that it knows. Sometimes you'll have to delete the profile that it's using, let it redetect your wireless, and then put the password in again. Sometimes those get either polluted because too many of them are named the same thing, or sometimes those profiles just go bad. So those are where I would start in both your cases.
Okay, now when you talk about that, are you talking about reestablishing a connection to the router and putting my router password in? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So they'll be listed as known networks, and it already has saved what the password is, so that when you come into them, your computer automatically connects to them. And that might be broken. So if you go to known networks and delete your network as a known one, you'll be able to connect to it like it was the first time and give you another shot at it.
Okay. I think I tried to do that because I put my password in and it still tells me there's no network connection. So.
Okay. Now, is it connected? Like, does it say connected and then it just says no internet, or what does it say when you're trying to connect it?
It says no network connection, and if I look over and I see my Netgear 77 and I click on it and say connect, it'll run for a little bit and then it'll tell me not connected. Or I've had it where.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me hold you over until the break. 1 second. Let me take this break real quick. 330-729-9977. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
You want that new or used vehicle, but your credit score isn't exactly what you need? You work hard. You've always paid your bills. Who can you turn to? Hi, this is Tino Merlo from Toyota of Warren. Stop in and see me or my staff. Toyota of Warren's here to help, and we can get you financed.
Hey, folks, the numbers are in. Last year, Kelly Warren sold 384 homes in our area. How does she do it? Tune in Sunday mornings at 8 and find out how she can help you. Sunday mornings, 8 a.m., 570 WKBN.
Here's some of the stories we're working on. Police are investigating shots fired overnight at the Monticello apartment complex in Liberty. Trumbull County Dispatch says people that live within a 1-mile radius of the gas well fire in Hartford Township are able to return to their homes. Police responded to an accident on I-680 southbound overnight. The driver was taken to the hospital and has not been identified. A second candidate has withdrawn from the Youngstown City School Board race. The 7th District Court of Appeals has ruled the Youngstown City Schools is not civilly liable for a 2014 death of an East High School student. And the Youngstown-Warren Regional Airport has been awarded a federal grant. We'll have more on these stories at the top of the hour. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2. From the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. Cool your home for summer. Call Maz's Air Conditioning in Girard. 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Partly sunny today, high near 85. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 64. Mostly sunny tomorrow, Sunday, high near 88.
When your car needs maintenance, you want quick, reliable service from professionals you can trust. The skilled technicians at Coal Valley Chevrolet are trained to know exactly what your car needs. Right now, with rebates and coupons to help you save on oil change, brake pads, air filters, batteries, and much more. See the professionals at Coal Valley and drive safely this summer. Visit coalvalleychevy.com for a complete list of rebates and to schedule your service appointment today.
Right now at Menards, get huge savings throughout the store during the fall catalog sale. Polar Plastics 10 by 25-foot all-purpose plastic sheeting is great for several different kinds of protection. Use it as a weather shield, a paint splatter blocker, dust and debris protection, and so much more. A 2-pack in black or clear is $8.88. Now during Menards fall catalog sale. Sale prices are good through Saturday, September 21st.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey guys, my name is Karen, and I wanted to tell you a story about my boyfriend Mike. He's a great guy, super fun. He is the best in so many ways, except for our life in the bedroom. The last several months, he lost his ability to perform and also lost his confidence. It changed him, and he became miserable, and he was about to lose me. So get this, he hears an ad about this powerful male enhancement product called Noxitril. It's all natural, no stuffy nose, no headaches, no side effects. He tries it, and all I can say is, wow, incredible. I told him this feels like Viagra on steroids. Boy, was I glad I stuck around. With Noxitril, Mike is now my Energizer Bunny. He keeps going and going. Problem solved. Thanks, Noxitril. And Noxitril has this free bottle offer, so now there's no excuse for every guy to have it. And keep going and going.
Find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 800-993-1560. 800-993-1560. Free bottles for a limited time. Call now. 800-993-1560. 800-993-1560.
Did you know that the IRS is getting more aggressive these days? They're using private agencies to track you down and even started taking away passports. Don't wait. If you owe more than $10,000, take advantage of the Fresh Start Initiative, a program in place that can help you now. You can save thousands and possibly have your taxes forgiven. Join the thousands of taxpayers who made the call to get protection from IRS collections. Call the experts at Oxford Tax Partners now about the Fresh Start program. If you qualify, it'll stop the IRS collection agencies from coming after you. Let the IRS negotiation experts at Oxford Tax Partners get you protected once and for all. Call the hotline now at 800-322-0118. That's 800-322-0118. There's help for those of you who owe $10,000 or more, but it's important that you take action before these programs change. Call the tax experts at Oxford Tax Partners for a free consultation now at 800-322-0118. 800-322-0118. That's 800-322-0118.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We're going to bring Ron back on. Ron was having a question about his wireless adapter, and we were kind of going through the steps that one might take to troubleshoot this. Ron, are you there with me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me give you a couple options because it sounds like you've already got a really good head start on it. You've already tried some of the things. So let me sort of summarize for any new listeners here. Okay. So the first thing with a wireless connect, a card that either won't connect, gives you a wrong password message, or can't connect, or no internet, or in this case where it says no connection. And so at this point, you're going to try to find a toggle switch that either turns the radio on and off. Sounds like something you've already done. Next thing, you want to make sure that you have checked to make sure that you have the proper driver. So if you check the device manager and you see that there's a problem, the wireless adapter or something like that, then you're going to want to uninstall, reinstall those drivers. Now, one thing in your case, I know that you said that you updated driver, and it said that you're already using the current one. Why don't you try doing this, and when you're in the device manager, actually remove the wireless adapter, reboot, let it find it again. It's going to use the same driver again, but if there was any damage to the software, it's going to give a fresh reload in the device manager. Gives it another shot at it. And then
I have not done that.
Okay. And then we also talked about going in the known networks profile, removing your SSID, and then allowing the network to be found again, and then logging in, putting another password. Additionally, there's really only one more thing that can be involved. If you've got some antivirus software or some firewall software, it might be getting in the way of the network doing what it needs to do. So while you're troubleshooting this, maybe uninstalling it or disabling your securities and your protections in the short term, just to see if you can get it functioning. And then finally, the last thing you can do is if you're in and you see your adapter, your regular adapter and your wireless adapter, you can right click on your adapter and go to diagnose. And part of the things that it will go down through is resetting your adapter. So those are the only 6 things that it could be, and I'm guessing one of those things is going to bring yours back to life.
Okay, I will give it a try.
All right, thanks, Ron. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
And we're, all of our devices are all wireless. All of our devices are all dependent on wireless. So where he started first was it's the responsibility of your router to dole out wireless connections. So that's where you start. You reboot the modem, and then you reboot the router. Now, if you find yourself doing that a lot, like you're always going through these reboot cycles, then there could be something wrong hardware-wise. You shouldn't have to reboot your equipment. In fact, there are environments that have been running for years without interruption, or the only interruptions they get is when they have a physical power outage sometimes. But if you're doing it often, there's something wrong, and either your router's getting overwhelmed or the software's buggy and it's crashing out. And I didn't know if any of you know this, but usually your routers, every 4 or 5 years, they should be replaced. So if you've got a router that you purchased a really long time ago or don't remember when you replaced it, it's probably due for something new. And you're going to want to do that anyway, because every 2 or 3 years, you get all new technology that comes out. The stuff today is faster and more secure, and you'd want to have the newest stuff anyway. So plan on every 4 or 5 years spending the $125, $150 for a new router that has the newest, latest, and greatest on it to begin with. And if you're a power user, if you've got lots and lots and lots of equipment, you might want to go up a level of service. So they have like residential grade, and then they have small business grade, and then they all the way up to enterprise grade. And so if you're residential, the $70 one that you got at Best Buy isn't working out, you might want to go up one level. You're going to spend a little bit more money, but it's going to be able to support that many more devices in your network. And I'll tell you, you might like count computers and find that you think you might have 4 or 5 connections, when in reality that thing might be serving up 20 to 25 when you start taking into consideration streaming devices and phones and laptops and notebooks, and even some Internet of Things devices. So you might want to keep track of that and maybe bump up the level of hardware that you're purchasing. 330-729-9977. Let's go to Pat next. Pat, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
This is Scott.
Hi.
Hey, Dan. Sorry about that, Joe.
That's all right.
I just wanted to give a quick guy. I don't know where this guy's from. All your technical stuff is right. But an Armstrong today had a hiccup, and I had to redo my router from Armstrong. I just had to turn off the router and turn it back on, because if he happens to have Armstrong internet, they had a problem this morning go out. And so when I reset it, it was fine for mine, but I had the same thing. It shows the router's active, but it doesn't connect anything. That's the only other extra thing I might have for you.
Excellent. Thanks, Pat, for being out there. Thanks for for throwing that in there. Appreciate it. Our listeners are awesome, because what's beautiful about that is not only do you get me here, but you get tons and tons and tons of people with the extensive experience that can chime in and also help jump on some of these problems as well. And just to add, we had one on Friday that was similar. So if you have an Armstrong modem, okay, it's managed by Armstrong. It does all of the stuff like doling out DHCP and giving you your DNS and connecting devices. Well, if they have a problem on their network, it may be that it's either receiving upgrades or whatever. You might have to give it some time for it to come back. We had one on Friday, Spectrum, and they must have been doing something, and it took every bit of a half hour for it to actually, the lights came on and it looked like it was there, but it wasn't doing any networking. It wasn't performing and being a router. So yes, Pat, thank you so much for chiming in there. That's why I said, I get during the program, I get text messages and emails and people who are listening that are probably shouting at their radio, helping along with it. So it's sort of like a cool little challenge too. When I listen to the other computer guys, it used to be like Kim Commando and you had Leo Lepore, and you would be listening to the problems as people are solving them, and it really is a challenge to using voice and this media to imagine what the user is feeling and going through, and then trying to solve it without being, most of us computer guys want to sit in the seat and start jamming on the keyboard, right? Doing it with words is oftentimes, really hard for people like this. I started out back in the 90s. There was a internet service provider called the On-Ramp, and they were over on Tibbetswick Road. They went bust, but I worked there in phone support for a couple of months at least, and that was one of my hardest things. This was back in like Windows 98 days, and it was all dial-up networking. It was all modem internet connections, and they sold their connections at Best Buy. And so people would call up, and they had all kinds of stuff. They had computers that were 386s, and they had something that was brand new with Windows 98. But I had to have like 500 different ways of getting people on the internet. So when they said, hey, I click on Network Neighborhood to set up my connections, and this error comes up, I can't fix their computer, but my sole responsibility is to get them online. So I had to find 50 different ways of, if they had an error or a computer that was in bad shape or hardware that was broken, I had to have lots of different ways to get them online, because my job was done once they could get online and be able to get on the web. But I loved it and hated it, because it really pushed my ability, because I'm not really good at telling people, like, verbally constructing this. I was better at being in front of it and fixing it myself, because I could do it faster. I can go through the 5 things that didn't work super fast, so I can get to the stuff that does work. Most of our support guys, we'll have about 5 ways of installing a printer and 5 ways of configuring your router. And we get to choose the best of those 5. We got like super consistent and safe versus super aggressive and high performance and everything in between. And that gives us this ability to, I don't like coming out there and not being able to get something done. When I leave, I want to make sure what you called me there for, I can actually accomplish. And so, we've got to be really dynamic in how we can wield our technical strength. And so I always appreciate the listeners out there who help along with this show. You guys are very valuable. And those who are listening who aren't contributing in that way, just know that your problems are falling on lots and lots and lots of very capable ears out there, very intelligent people in this listening audience. So again, thank you so much for the phone call. Let's see. I was mentioning a couple times my during the week commercial. We started doing scheduling your own appointment, or a system for you to be able to grab your own schedules. For 10 years, we had a walk-up desk over in Struthers that you could just bring your computer in and talk to a person. And you would not believe how expensive it is to have a person, from 9 to 5 all day, just listening to stories and interacting with people and whatnot. I loved it. I love the fact that we can interface with the customer, but it killed the model. It killed the ability to be able to, pay our guys what we needed to pay and be able to make any money on it. We lost money for a really long time on that because of how expensive it is to just walk up to, a front counter. And so we, a lot of what we do doesn't necessarily require explanation. We do maintenance and we do break fix stuff. And a lot of times you bringing us your computer doesn't really help us much, because some problems are environmental. So you bring the computer to us and it works. So then we got to solve a problem in the blind where it was, your router or your network or something that was plugged into your computer that doesn't exist now. And it's just so expensive to do things that way. So I made the executive decision to start doing more stuff in the field coming to you. We founded the company doing field services, and now we've returned back to it. So all of you who got used to bringing it to us, I apologize profusely. I really wish I could have gotten it to work in a way, but again, I couldn't, and I threw in the towel on that side. But the service that we added on our website, youngstowncomputer.com, is if you know what you need, you can go right to our site and pick out your scheduled window, pay for it online, and everything's automated. You don't have to get callbacks and phone calls. We would get like 30 phone calls a day. And some people just asking questions, some people inquiring more, and it's super expensive. The labor hours and that role is really expensive. So you can go to youngstowncomputer.com and you click on the button that says book appointment. And we have like 5 different things you can choose from. One's going to be maintenance, and maintenance things are, there's no real problem here, but you're probably running a little bit slow, and it's just time to, do some updates and disk optimization and look for problems and stuff like that. That is what the maintenance is for. It's an hour service. You can go there, pick the hour out throughout the day that we have open. And then the second one is the actual a service call. This is where something is broken. You have a printer that needs installed, you have internet that's out, and this is a wider window, because not only are you going to are we going to fix the problem, but we're also going to run those maintenances along with it. So it's a 2-hour window rather than a 1-hour window. And then when we're running things like classes and workshops, you can pick out your workshop and get scheduled and paid for. So it makes things more efficient on our end, where these appointments that don't really need to have conversations about can just schedule themselves. And then that reserves when you do need some explanation or a story that go along with it to help solve the problem, that we can do it better because we're not swamped with routine stuff where, hey, guy just does this every year. He wants to get on the calendar. He doesn't need to explain to it how it's the same like it has been for the last 5 years. He can go schedule his own appointment and free our time up. So this is my brainchild to get us super efficient. If you go to youngstowncomputer.com, you can schedule an appointment, get everything paid for. You get on the calendar, and then somebody just shows up. So that's something I'm super excited about. I've been wanting to do that for years, and I really love my customers. And when I knew that this was not having that face-to-face thing was something that killed me. I mean, I tried 500 different ways to try to make money doing it, and they're just I couldn't figure it out. So I just had to, cut my losses at a certain point and redo it. So I apologize to all of you who show up at the door and want to drop your stuff off, and the answer is no. And I hate to even say it, but I do appreciate everybody who's been patient with us as we've retooled that process. So go to youngstowncomputer.com, click on the book now, schedule an appointment, get yourself put on our schedule for any services that you are in need for. 330-729-9977 is the phone number. I have a couple topics that we'll talk about after the next set of breaks, but I did want to also, just come back to that earlier topic about the worker displacement thing. And the semi-trucks was the one that I looked at the hardest, because, I mean, that's 1 million jobs across the country of over the highway, these truck drivers who deliver all of the goods that we depend on. And when there's a tractor trailer that can go from stop to stop without human intervention, literally 24 hours a day, this machine could be moving. So it becomes more efficient, but at the same time, there used to be a person behind the wheel of that truck, and now it's just a robot that takes stuff, over the roads to deliver. And again, so we as consumers were like, yeah, that's going to happen. I want computers that fix themselves. I want our cars to do our own traffic safety. I want these computer systems that are literally capable of taking the human element and making things more accurate and more effective. And then there's going to be a certain point where, like, whoa, one of these automations is going to affect me because it's going to take my livelihood away. It's cool when it's somebody else's livelihood because it decreases prices and makes things more efficient, makes people more money. But what happens when we get to the point where literally people aren't necessary in the execution of our society? Like, what are we going to do? I mean, we're going to have these machines making all of these money, and the machines making the money, and goods are going to be distributed. I mean, are we going to take those things and just give everybody money to buy services with? I just, Joe Rogan talked about the universal income. When we get to the point where there's no jobs for us, that we're going to tax the automation systems and then take the taxes from the automation systems and distribute that money to the people who used to have those jobs. And so there's some, there's a little bit of merit in that, but at the same time, I mean, that is a scary proposition, and it's all of this is kind of scary, but that's a scary proposition in itself, because you literally have, human beings who are not supposed to be idle and brought to a crawl like that we're going to be forced to be brought to a crawl. I mean, we need to have purpose. We need to have struggle. We need to have something put in ahead of us so that we can be the best versions of ourselves. And that takes that all away, because even though computers are going to be able to do it better, there's portions, the human element are just so necessary in our culture. And when you strip that away, we become very sterile. And that's what's scary about it, is that sterile, efficient, motorized, autonomous society can be a scary proposition to a guy like me. And I love tech, and I'm scared of it. Anyway, when we come back from this break, we're going to talk to Roland. He's on the phone lines, and we'll take some of your text messages and read them. Phone numbers, 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
Hey there, Dan Rivers. We have a show every morning at 8:07. We're on till noon. We hope you can join us. But if you do happen to miss it, remember, you can hear the program on the podcast. Just search Dan Rivers, 570 WKBN.
Quiet, comfort, and affordability. The most important things when choosing a place to live. Westchester Square Apartments offers something to fit every need and budget. 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and studio apartments. They rent apartments, but they sell convenience. You can find luxury living at Westchester Executive Apartments, 1,200 square feet of upscale living with carports, or independent senior living at Westchester Commons, strategically located in the center of Austintown, right next to Route 11. For the perfect apartment, call 330-799-5758. Come and be a good neighbor in a community of good neighbors. Westchester Square Apartments, Austintown.
Your kitchen will stand out with quality Silver Creek cabinets from Bernard Daniels Lumber and Home Center in Canfield. At Bernard Daniels, you can choose from 11 styles of Silver Creek cabinets and get free kitchen design services. Find out more now at silvercreekcabinets.com. Bernard Daniels is an Anderson Window and Patio Door Circle of Excellence dealer, and our closeout window warehouse stocks thousands of Anderson windows at huge discounts. Bernard Daniels Lumber and Home Center, 250 Railroad Street in Canfield, and at bdlumber.com.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine now and discover what it means to get more out of each day. Burnett Pool Spas and Hot Tubs, your local hot spring dealer, is having an instant rebate event where you can get $1,000 instant rebate with a purchase of select hot spring models. Burnett Pools, Cortland, Canfield, and Newcastle. Or visit BurnettPools.com. Make every day better with a hot spring hot tub. Hot tub rebate event is going on now at Burnett Pools, your local hot spring dealer. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
The iHeartRadio app is...
It's free. You don't have to pay anything.
Free wins, baby.
Because it has everything that I need all condensed in one feature.
Yeah, everything's all together.
And I get all the music.
Yeah, music is pretty much everything to me. It sets my mood.
No matter what mood I'm in or whatever I'm doing, there's always a playlist for me.
I love the hip-hop pump-up playlist.
They do the work for me.
The iHeartRadio app. Radio, music, podcasts. All free. Free never sounded better. Download the iHeartRadio app today.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is your Saturday show. Phone number 330-729-9977. Let's go to Roland. Roland, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hey, Joe. I tried not to call, especially after I heard Gene. I hear him all week, and I figured the weekend I could just get by with not hearing him. Anyway, who would pay Social Security if we get all the truckers off the road? Who would stop at the truck stops, eat the food, go to the doctor, do the school tax, all that shit, Joe? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would just have people disappear from society, and they wouldn't be consumers anymore. The whole thing changes.
Then we would have anarchy, Joe.
Yeah, I
people not getting a check. I mean, it can't happen.
Yeah, and we've got time. We've got a decade probably before that's the reality of everyday life. So what do you do? These are questions. These are the serious questions that our leaders need to be taking up and finding out what we're going to do.
Well, they just have to stop it and common sense would be that, okay, we're not going to have Social Security as much coming in. Income tax, is the robot going to pay income tax so you can go to the hospital, so you can go to concession stands at baseball games? No.
Well, how do you stop it if automation is to the level where it can do it? How do you put that genie in the bottle?
I don't know. There's got to be a way. I'll check out the next Terminator movie and I'll get back to you. All right, Joe, take it easy.
Okay, thanks for checking in, Roland. Appreciate it. And it's a worthwhile discussion because it's important to lots of livelihoods across our country. So if we go into it, it might be nice to say, okay, we'll just stop the automation. You go to the checkout line. What is it? There's a kiosk that takes your order. You go to McDonald's. There's a kiosk that takes your order. We have cars that could drive themselves and gives roads. These are things that aren't in the future that are going to happen. These are the first steps of it happening. And we went from sort of level 1 autonomy all the way. I mean, we're on level 3 autonomy where the software is capable of doing this stuff. So there's nothing going to stop it from happening. I mean, you can maybe take an area and cordon it off and say, well, this is the area that is technology-free zone and we don't do automation here. Well, the rest of the world that are competing with you, they're going to do it because they're not going to have people. I mean, we care about people. Right? That's why we would say this is going to be a problem because where tech makes things good for some people, it's going to make it a lot worse for others. So before somebody gets smashed, in the pursuit of this, we want to make sure that we figure out what it is that we're going to do, because this isn't just about making money. Like Roland said before, you get people disappearing. You might be all for it because it saves you a couple bucks here, but when it's your restaurant that nobody comes to because all of the traffic going around, there isn't any, because nobody goes shopping because everything gets delivered to them. Nobody has to eat because it gets delivered to them. I mean, your business goes bust, and then what do? Now you're just one of those people. So the level of dependence that's possible or going to be possible is staggering, and that's why if we start doing considerations now, you can have people that say, okay, you know what? Hey, we got Joe who wants to set up a restaurant that's more expensive than what you can get from Grubhub. If we are going to support him, then we can have the people who want to deal with the automation and then the people who want to go support the local guy. And this will be like a boutique restaurant where it's non-automated, and you have this one that's totally automated. But you have to have the people decide that people are more important than money. Because as soon as you start saying, well, when I'm buying it, I'm going to get the cheap version of it. But when I expect everybody else to buy it, I want them to do the noble thing and the virtuous thing and support the people. I mean, we got to decide that people are way more important than stuff. We got only a couple years on this planet, and then we're dead, and it all goes back away anyhow. So we take care of each other. We take care. This area is great for this. In fact, if there's going to be any area that's going to push through and say, money isn't as important as individuals, we could set the standard here, because I don't care what your political stripes are. You can picture yourself being on the losing end of this. I could picture a self-healing computer that makes me completely not necessary. And then what am I going to do on that day? Right? I'm going to move somewhere. I'm going to innovate somewhere else. And before we get there, like it's probable that it's likely that we should have that conversation before we're faced with it, because I'm warning you, this is the red flags that are going up. I'm telling you, it's happening. And there's not the political will to be able to stop it. 330-729-9977. Text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
Hi, this is Eric Clark at Fairway Ford in Canfield. With our easy and simple sales process, you work with only one person the entire time. Within minutes, you know the sale price, trade-in value, interest rate, and payment. There is no back and forth negotiating and no running to the secret guy in the back room at Fairway Ford. Come experience true hassle-free car buying. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Hey, it's Ron Verb for Nature Stone. Never replace your basement flooring again. Nature Stone is the only solution. It will stand up to moisture, dampness, even flooding. The only solution. So if your basement is damp, dirty, not somewhere you want to spend time, you need Nature Stone. Nature Stone's the answer. Get Nature Stone installed in your basement by the end of September and get up to half off. Schedule your free in-home estimate easily online today. Do it at naturestone.com, naturestone.com, naturestone.com.
On AM and thousands of devices, including Amazon Echo, Google Home, and Sonos. With our iHeartRadio app, 570 WKBN, Youngstown. It's 2 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. According to former Vice President Joe Biden, the reason President Trump is looking for dirt on him is because he knows Biden would win in a 2020 matchup.
I'll beat him like a drum.
The former vice president in Iowa, he said the House should investigate, especially after the Wall Street Journal reported the president asked the president of Ukraine about 8 times to investigate Biden's son, Hunter. ABC's David Wright has more from the White House.
President Trump calls the whole story a political hack job. He says it's fake news, but he has refused to answer direct questions about whether or not he did discuss Joe Biden or Biden's family during that phone call with the newly elected president of Ukraine. He said that he has lots of phone calls with world leaders and that this phone call, like all the others, was totally appropriate. He called it a beautiful conversation.
Saudi Arabia's foreign minister Adel Al-Jubeir says it's still investigating the attack last weekend on the country's largest oil processing plant. The U.S. is blaming that attack on Iran.
The challenges that we're facing now call for enhancing security cooperation between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and its allies and partners in order to ensure the future in order to ensure no disruptions to the supply of energy to the world so that the world economy is not negatively impacted.
Saudi Arabia is the world's second largest oil producer. The Pentagon Friday says the president authorized the deployment of troops and equipment to the Middle East at Saudi Arabia's request. The number of troops not yet announced. The chair of the Joint Chiefs says it will be in the hundreds, not thousands. A Chicago police officer was shot and wounded today, but will survive thanks to doctors, says Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Thanks to their excellent work, the officer's out of surgery and in stable condition.
Authorities now say the man suspected of shooting the officer is 45-year-old Michael Blackman, the same person they think shot and wounded a woman on Wednesday. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's what's happening. Police are investigating shots fired early this morning at the Monticello apartment complex in Liberty. Police say they found several shell casings near the playground area of the complex. No injuries have been reported at this time, and no suspects are in custody. Trumbull County Dispatch says people that live within a 1-mile radius of the gas well fire in Hartford Township are able to return to their homes. Residents were told to evacuate last night after a small explosion at a Hartford gas well fire behind D&G Machinery on Route 7. People who live within that 1-mile radius should shut off their air conditioning units and close windows and doors. The area extends from Johnston Township north to Gustavus Township, east to Kinsman Township, and south into Vernon Township. Police responded to an accident on I-680 southbound overnight. Witnesses say the hood of a car flew up and blocked the driver's view. That driver was taken to the hospital and has not been identified. A second candidate has withdrawn from the Youngstown School Board race. Nia Sims, the lone write-in for the school board, informed the Mahoning County Board of Elections yesterday that she was no longer a candidate. It comes a week after it was determined state law would dissolve the school board effective January 1st. Patrick O'Leary withdrew on Wednesday. The 7th District Court of Appeals has ruled the Youngstown City Schools is not civilly liable for the 2014 death of Faith McCullough, an East High School student who was killed when she stumbled off the sidewalk near the school and was run over by a city school bus. The ruling ends the lawsuit unless the girl's family appeals. And the Youngstown Warren Regional Airport has been awarded a $1.2 million federal grant. Congressman Tim Ryan says the money will be used to make improvements to the runway lighting and rebuilding one taxiway. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Need an AC checkup? Call Mazda's Air Conditioning in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Partly sunny today, high near 85. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 64. Mostly sunny tomorrow, Sunday high near 88.
Bring the family to Flying to the Heavens, the 41st annual Ravenna Balloon Affair, September 19th through the 22nd. Thursday afternoon at 6:30, the Touch the Sky and Let Your Dreams Rise Children's Parade steps off. Downtown offers live bands, food, and craft booths. The gates at Sunbow Valley Farms open at 4 p.m. with carnival rides, helicopter rides, and live music. Saturday at 4 is a Jeep show, and weather permitting, 15 hot air balloons will lift off at Sunbow with fireworks at dusk. Sunday liftoff is at 5:30. For more info, go to RavennaBalloonAffair.com.
Hey there, Dan Rivers. You know, recently selling your home has become a complicated process. Tune in and listen to the agent who guarantees to sell your home or she'll buy it. Kelly Warren, Sunday mornings, 8 a.m., 570 WKBN.
This is Dr. David Vitko. Do you know the difference between not being sick and being truly healthy? Listen to my show, Enjoy Incredible Health, with Dr. David Vitko on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on 570 WKBN.
You want that new or used vehicle, but your credit score isn't exactly what you need? You work hard, you've always paid your bills. Who can you turn to? Hi, this is Tino Merlo from Toyota of Warren. Stop in and see me or my staff. Toyota of Warren's here to help, and we can get you financed.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I'm Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is your Saturday show where we talk about things that are happening in tech, give you some insights in business and science and physics and all that kind of stuff that interests me. We get to talk about, and also, you know, it's computer help as well. So if you have anything that's in your melon that you need a little guidance with, I'd be sure to help you. We've got tons of experience of dealing with this stuff for, over a decade. I think I started doing this in 97, Uber Professional in 2001, and then Youngstown Computer opened in 2009. And so we've been doing this quite a long time. So I'll do my best to be able to lend some experience your way and maybe help you. A lot of DIYers out there, a lot of you like to tinker, and that's awesome. And we gravitate towards this kind of stuff because it interests us, like listening about it. But we also have brand new people around. So just getting ready and warmed up to the, to the lingo. We break it down, and I could use a ton more acronyms when I do this, and we can use big words about it, and it would get you nowhere, and you would have no better of an understanding. So we kind of keep it so that we're talking about this as practical as we can, so you can do stuff with it. And that's been the premise of the show. Lots of people have listened for years, and we've brought people kicking and screaming. This audience that we've created in this space, we made. There were bunches and bunches of people who just would tell me every chance they could get, I hate this technology stuff. I'm a neophyte. It's smarter than me. And then we kept working on them and keep working on them and kept, shoveling the information as close to them as we can. And slowly they'd nibble on it. They'd get a little used to it. And then once you dig into it, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like you're in an area where you see these impractical versions of all this new technology, and you don't know how it's gonna connect in your world. But once you dive in, then you couldn't ever see yourself without it. It's sort of like the smartphone. About you could say, hey, take my smartphone for 3 days and see how well I'm how capable I am in the field. I would say, wow, I could never do it. But you go back 15 years ago, I could be without a phone for that long. I used to go camping and on trips, and you didn't have a phone that you took with you. You were disconnected while you were gone. But now you can't even picture yourself being in that position. I want to welcome all of you on Facebook. We've been doing Facebook Live and Twitch and Twitter, Periscope. We've been doing YouTube Live and YouTube events. We're all over the place web-wise, so I want to thank all the watchers and participants over there that send us chat questions on Facebook. I'm monitoring Facebook right now, so welcome everyone that's over there. Glad you guys are with us. And let me get that turned off because I just turned the volume on. Okay, so going into October, we're going to be hiring another couple people before the end of the year. And so when we get in that space, I want to make sure that you, as the public, have an opportunity to sort of deliver us people who you could really see part of our operation. So if you know of somebody, if you are somebody who wants to get into the tech field, it's a really challenging field. Our job is to take care of people and to be smart and be thorough. We got to be able to tell the future and be able to have all of the tools, develop all of the tools to be able to protect people from eventualities. Everybody's going to have hardware failure, and everybody's going to get hit with a virus, and everybody's router is going to stop. And you have to be poised in this industry to be able to snap to and go rescue people, throw on your cape, and be at the aid of other people. And that is one of the most exhilarating things about being in this industry, is that how much people need you and depend on you and appreciate you more than anything else. And so we run field services for commercial networks, and we dabble on the residential. We're still building up our operations on the residential, but it's all field services. We come out to you and fix your stuff. So if you could see yourself working in an industry like this, and you're a good worker, you're smart, there's nothing conventional about our operations. So, we take care of our people. I fight really hard to protect everybody. I protect my customers. I protect my staff. I protect the company as a whole. I really look out for everyone. And so if you know somebody who would fit well in that dynamic, who is a self-motivator, I don't want slackers. I don't want people who I need to prod and watch their time. I want people who are self-motivated and like take care of people. So if you know someone who would fit well in something like that, please send them my way. Email me and send me resumes, joe@youngstowncomputer.com, or you can call our main phone number, 330-259-7278. And you can get your resumes to me, and we're going to be doing interviewing all October. Wednesdays are usually my day to do interviews, and so yeah. I mean, I want to constantly announce that we are a company that will bring as many jobs to this area and create as many jobs in this area, because you people, as the listeners and the supporters of this station and our company, just have brought all of your business our way. And like I said, I'm forever grateful. And here's really something. And it's unheard of as far as I'm concerned. We started doing advertising, and we had a whole media sort of buffet picked out of how we were going to unveil what we did, and we were going to get into radio, and then we're going to creep into television, and then we were going to keep expanding, right? We got into this radio station and started doing our thing, and we went to 100% capacity almost instantly. And for over the years, we have never had to extend any marketing outside of radio. We've been able to, no matter if we have 50 employees or 10 employees, I could just see us always being at capacity just with the reach of this radio station. And so that's unbelievable. So if any of you have considered radio advertising, this station and these people are amazing. So if you're on the fence, please give one of the reps over here a call and get involved, because these people are like family to me now. 330-729-9977. I want to tell you about something else that I've got going on. This is kind of fun. This is more in the business thing. So if you put your business hat on, this is exciting to me. So when I first started the computer thing really early on, this had to have been late 90s, early 2000s. And I rented an office, and it was really not an office. It was a closet. It was literally, think of like a teacher's desk, where the room was as wide as the teacher's desk, and as square. It was a square. So it was same length and width. I would say no more than 7 foot by 7 foot, and that was my first office. And one of my first customers, they wanted to do a computer setups, and so I bought all of the inventory to do computers and monitors and everything like that. And while I was out doing field services, somebody broke into my office and stole all of my equipment. And so I made good on everything that I owed to everybody else, but I was busted. I was broke. I had $700 to my name, and that was it. I couldn't see opportunity. I was kicked, and I was bruised, and I thought I couldn't do it. And I was really hard on myself. I was having a pity party like it wasn't even funny. And I was ready to bail out. I wasn't going to do computers anymore, because as soon as that inventory that I bought, that was everything that I made previous. Reinvested to buy more inventory. So I didn't take any money out of it, and I just kept taking any money that I made and buying inventory, making money I made and buying inventory. And to get wiped out, right, and then have nothing to show for it and be behind the 8 ball and starting over again, it was awful. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. But I can remember I had that $700 in my hand, and I was sitting on the couch, and I was just feeling sorry for myself. And I said, you know what, screw this. I'm coming back. And so I took that $700 and I built it over the years. Again, same thing, reinvesting it in the company, reinvesting in the company, reinvesting in the company. And so I proved time and time again that you can start from scratch, zero, less than scratch. I was at negative numbers at that point, no doubt, and you can keep drawing yourself back. So I started a challenge, the $10,000 challenge. I'm starting with $369. And my favorite numbers, 3, 6, and 9 are all Tesla numbers, Nikola Tesla. And so I started with $369, and I'm giving myself 100 days to turn that $369 into $10,000. And I'm doing it. I'm not going to invest any of that into Youngstown Computer Stuff or already established businesses. Everything that I do with that $369 has to be new stuff where I'm just getting started and I have no expertise in it. It just has to be grind selling. Like stuff, I'm not going to use any distributions, because it could be easy if I buy a bunch of hard drives and say, hey, I bought a bunch of hard drives, come buy them for me. I can't use any of that stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take $369 and I'm going to keep, I had to do $369 is not a whole lot to get started with for seed money. So this morning I went around and I went to 8 garage sales and I purchased a bunch of items that I'm then going to polish up and make better and add some stuff to. I'm going to resell those items. And then I spent $150 this morning, and that $150 I'm going to sell and hope to get to $300 by next weekend. And you can follow this on Facebook. If you look for the $369 challenge, you can keep a peek on that group and see how I'm coming along. But I'm giving myself literally 100 days to every weekend getting in a little better position. Now, I'll tell you that these things aren't linear, where you go from 369 to 700, then to 1400. You have these ups and downs where you're going to get a little bit of gain, you're going to swing, and some of them are going to be misses. So you're going to see this value go up and down. So in the end, I will probably have created, $40,000 worth of value that in the end will have had $10,000 worth of increase, or 9,600 and whatever. But you could follow this. It's interesting. I'm challenging myself. Now, on the other end of this, when we get to $10,000, I'm going to split the $10,000 up into 4 2,500s, and we are going to get 4 teams to compete against one another to do the same thing. The award money in the 2,500 is going to be keeping whatever's created. So I'm going to seed all 4 teams with 2,500. The winning team gets to keep it and split it among the other teams, and the other 3 teams give it back, and we start the whole thing again. And we're going to keep this going and get these, we're going to prove the concept. I believe wholeheartedly that there's enough opportunity surrounding every person, no matter where you think you are, how limited your resources, how you don't know anything and whatnot, that we can all, there's enough hustle surrounding all of us that we could all get to $10,000 if we put some planning and some drive behind it. So that's what I'm proving out, and I got to be the first one. So if I can't do it, right, and then it can't expect anybody else to follow in that. But it's a trend where I hope to have hundreds of teams at any given time competing against themselves in the challenge of creating more value, adding capitalism, taking stuff and adding value into it and selling it for more. And I think that that goes for if we have to teach people how to be sufficient, where they can command the marketplace, they know how to add enough to the marketplace to be able to get something back. I mean, my 9-year-old can go into the marketplace and do something. A guy can unbox toys and get paid millions of dollars in the marketplace. If you could just figure out what you can and can't do, don't rely on anybody else for a paycheck, right? You could rely on yourself for that paycheck by taking an expertise or a talent or just an idea or a thought and selling it in the marketplace. So you can keep your eye on my adventures over on Facebook group. And I said it's a $369 challenge. Today was day 1, spent $150 of my $369. And what I came up with, I purchased a helmet, a football helmet, and purchased it for $50. It retails for about $250. And I'm going to take this helmet, and I think I'm going to flip it. I'm going to try to flip it because I paid less than retail. I'm going to put it up for like $150. So it retails for $250. I paid $50. And then I'm going to set it out there for a week. And if by next week nobody has made me an offer on it, I'm going to use my vinyl cutter, and I'm going to cut out a sticker, and I'm going to pick a high school or a college or something like that and plaster it on the side of my helmet. And now it is a decorative piece for somebody's bookshelf or desk, where it is a full function. It is a really nice helmet. It's got the air technology inside. So, I mean, it could be used as a physical helmet. But if it doesn't, then I'm going to turn it into something that can at least display well. And that's going to be a $150 piece. So $50 to $150. And then I bought a bunch of albums, some vinyl from Frank Sinatra and some older stuff, some vintage stuff. And I bought a bunch of display cases. So I'm going to get some not display cases, but sort of like wall hangers, where you fit the record in, and it's under glass, and it's recessed a little bit so it fits in there nicely. I'm going to try to get it so that the actual cover art is the backing, and then you have the vinyl record on top. But these things are they're a little aged, they're a little dirty. So I've got all the equipment to be able to restore the vinyl and clean it up real well. So now I invested $20. I got 12 records for $20, and I got $20 for a repair kit. And I'm going to attempt to make the vinyl records playable and in as good a shape as I possibly can. Get them under glass and get them mounted. Pick the best 3, because I think I really got 3 winners out of the 12 that will sell for $40. So that will be in my investment, $150 to $300 by next week. So that's the this week's update. I hope to have the $200 I have left over, plus $300 in new money. I hope to have up to plus $500 by week's end next week. So again, check me out over on Facebook. Look for the $369 challenge. You can see all the pictures of everything that I purchased. And I'm going to try to keep hidden the actual sales, because I don't want to have this program or anything that we do publicly make purchases happen. I want this to be as authentic as we possibly can. So I don't think I'm going to announce even where to find this stuff to buy, because I just want it to be regular people who don't even know they've participated. That way we can keep it pure, where I can say that we didn't leverage this program or something like that to make the thing work. Because I know it can work. I've done this 1,000 times. I've taken companies that were about as broke as you could get and bring them back from the dead. That is my forte. I am all about like fixing hemorrhaging leaks in companies and businesses. So you'll watch me do this. I'm doing it very publicly. So I'm sure that no matter what happens, you're going to have lots of insights from people on both sides who have either criticisms or think this is the most amazing thing they've ever witnessed. But anyway, check me out. $369 challenge over on Facebook. We're going to take this break. We'll take some more of your calls. I'll check the text messages during this break, too, to see if anybody had anything to contribute. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
So we have things happening.
The question is where? China, North Korea, and Venezuela.
The border.
Russia.
It will happen.
And when it does,
It's happening.
it'll happen.
It's moving right here.
On 570 WKBN.
Our 2019 iHeartRadio Music Festival. The artists you told us you love on the iHeartRadio app. Hosted by Ryan Seacrest from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Watch live on the CW app and CWTV.com. And listen on iHeartRadio. Continuing tonight at 10 p.m.
Capital One is a proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products and access to unique and unforgettable experiences to our customers. What's in your wallet?
Did you know that the IRS is getting more aggressive these days? They're using private agencies to track you down and even started taking away passports. Don't wait. If you owe more than $10,000, take advantage of the Fresh Start Initiative, a program in place that can help you now. You can save thousands and possibly have your taxes forgiven. Join the thousands of taxpayers who made the call to get protection from IRS collections. Call the experts at Oxford Tax Partners now about the Fresh Start program. If you qualify, it'll stop the IRS collection agencies from coming after you. Let the IRS negotiation experts at Oxford Tax Partners get you protected once and for all. Call the hotline now at 800-322-0118. That's 800-322-0118. There's help for those of you who owe $10,000 or more, but it's important that you take action before these programs change. Call the tax experts at Oxford Tax Partners for a free consultation now at 800-322-0118. 800-322-0118. That's 800-322-0118.
When your car needs maintenance, you want quick, reliable service from professionals you can trust. The skilled technicians at Coal Valley Chevrolet are trained to know exactly what your car needs. Right now, with rebates and coupons to help you save on oil change, brake pads, air filters, batteries, and much more. See the professionals at Coal Valley and drive safely this summer. Visit CoalValleyChevy.com for a complete list of rebates and to schedule your service appointment today.
Hey, it's Ron Verp for Nature Stone. Never replace your basement flooring again. Nature Stone is the only solution. It will stand up to moisture, dampness, even flooding. The only solution. So if your basement is damp, dirty, not somewhere you want to spend time, you need Nature Stone. Nature Stone's the answer. Get Nature Stone installed in your basement by the end of September and get up to half off. Schedule your free in-home estimate easily online today. Do it at naturestone.com, naturestone.com, naturestone.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text OFFER to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text OFFER to 79645. That's OFFER to 79645.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is your Saturday show where we get to talk about things that are happening in tech. We open the phone lines to you, text messaging, all of that stuff. So if you have a question, 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570. I will tell you this: I was at a party maybe last weekend, and somebody asked me, "Hey, you've got that iPhone 7. What are you gonna get the iPhone 11?" And I kind of blew it off a little bit because I've been kind of mad how how close of a product cycle, how I was involved in that, where every year I was buying a $1,000 phone. It was a little bit irritating that it had us so addicted to getting a phone so often. So I want to try to make my phones last a little bit longer. And so I tried skipping the last couple releases, maybe one revision, and then, maybe having the same phone for 2 or maybe even 3 years. So I did decide to get the iPhone 11 Pro. It was just released yesterday. I looked through the stats to see what would be, much different than what I've experienced up to this point. And I guess the camera is phenomenal. If you look the back of it, that's got like 3 lenses. So basically you're getting 3 different lenses that the chips are combining to give you depth and clarity like you've never experienced with a camera before. So that's the run up, how they've been promoting this thing is it's got an unbelievable camera. But I'll do a full review on this sucker once I get it. They say like the second week of October is when I can expect it. So they must have got tons of pre-orders and which is cool. I'm glad that, I'm glad when a product does well, especially that the iPhone. And I know we got a bunch of people who are Apple versus Android, and there's always been this back and forth. I have both. I have the Galaxy Note for my personal phone, and I have the iPhone 7 Plus as this phone. Now, what was interesting to this too is that I got used to the Plus's size. So if I pick up a regular iPhone, it seems a little small and a little bit less real estate than I'm used to. But when I first got this thing, it seemed like I had a freaking tablet that I was carrying around. It was a lot to get used to, but now I think I like that extra screen size. And so I was checking to see the iPhone 11 whether or not because I did not get the plus size. I didn't get the XL or whatever it's called. And when I looked at the specs, mine is a 5.5-inch screen on the 7 Plus. The regular iPhone is 5.7 or 5.8 inches. So it's actually, the regular size is now bigger than what the plus size was. By not much bigger, but enough that it's going to be what I'm used to. I was ready, and I bought that without knowing that the screen was a little bit bigger. I thought maybe that I was going to have to get used to a smaller version, which I was okay with because the bigger screen, it's harder to operate with one hand. It's harder to manipulate with one hand. I mean, you got to really have a firm grip on it, and the thumb is only halfway across the screen. So there's some skill that you have to develop in order to use it one-handed, which I thought the smaller screen would be a little bit better at delivering. But in the end, it ends up being about the same. So there's not much there. But I'm fully prepared to give a full review of this sucker when I get it. And so kind of stay tuned on what to expect from that. They had the regular version, the Pro, and then the Pro X, or the big version of the Pro. I ended up getting the Pro and the 256 gig model because the consideration is and a lot of us are starting to, at 64 gigs or 32 gigs for sure, starting to run out of space. And so it hampers us because we can't do the operating system updates, and we have all these pictures and movies that are on our phones, and we constantly have to dump them off. So these bigger capacities, I mean, you've literally got like an external hard drive around with you as you're carrying your phone, and you're using it all. That's the amazing part, is we're somehow jamming movies and music and all that kind of stuff to the point where we're filling that much stuff up. So anyway, I'll talk more about it when I come back from this break. But if you want to get on the line, 330-729-9977, or text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show here on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
Price Heating and Cooling knows that unexpected problems can happen at your home or business at any time. You know you need a new heating system, but how are you going to afford it? Call Price Heating and Cooling to ask about their special financing. Winter is coming, and Price Heating and Cooling offers several financing options sure to fit your budget. You need a provider you can trust to offer financing when problems occur. Price Heating and Cooling delivers quality products, fair pricing, and unbeatable service and satisfaction. Find out more now at priceheating.com.
Here's some of the stories we're working on. Police are investigating shots fired overnight at the Monticello apartment complex in Liberty. Trumbull County Dispatch says people that live within a 1-mile radius of the gas well fire in Hartford Township are able to return to their homes. Police responded to an accident on I-680 southbound overnight. The driver was taken to the hospital and has not been identified. A second candidate has withdrawn from the Youngstown City School Board race. The 7th District Court of Appeals has ruled the Youngstown City Schools is not civilly liable for a 2014 death of an East High School student. And the Youngstown-Warren Regional Airport has been awarded a federal grant. We'll have more on these stories at the top of the hour. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 3. From the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. For your home or business, call Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Partly sunny today, high near 85. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 64. Mostly sunny tomorrow, Sunday, high near 88.
At Land Pro, we're pros at finding your perfect fit. Right now, you can get a John Deere 1023E subcompact utility tractor with AutoConnect drive-over mower deck and 120R loader for less than your cell phone bill. Land Pro equipment has the attachments you need for every season at a price you can afford. Stop by your nearest Land Pro equipment location or request a quote at landproequipment.com.
John Deere and Land Pro equipment, the pros helping you work away.
It's the fall clearance event at General RV in North Canton. This Monday to Sunday, enjoy our lowest prices on hundreds of overstocked models. Shop and save on everything from family-friendly trailers and fifth wheels to gas and diesel motorhomes. With travel trailers as low as $9,999 and motorhomes starting at $49,999. You'll save thousands. All RVs must go during the fall clearance event. This week only at General RV in North Canton off I-77. Prices exclude tax, title, registration, and fees. See dealer for details.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. You can try a full 30-day bottle of P3 Advanced, free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free. Call 1-800-394-5797. Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no strings attached free bottle, you must call now. Call 1-800-394-5797. Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer. Call 1-800-394-5797. 1-800-394-5797.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show, talking about all things that are happening in tech, sharing a little bit of a story about my iPhone 11 purchase, and started talking about how we manage the data that are on our phones, what we're getting used to, and what we're our capacities, the requirements for the capacities of our phone are getting up there. I know, we go through this process. Let me show you that process. So my wife takes a lot more pictures than I do, a lot more videos than I do. And so she's more dependent on that kind of stuff. Now, if most of us growing up, we all had the film cameras, and then we go about, we'd either stow the film away, or then we'd have the pictures printed out, and we have these drawers and boxes just filled with all of our stuff. Now we don't really have to do that. We can store all of these pictures in its digital form. We have to have a place to be able to put it. Now, if you have all of your active pictures just riding around on your phone, that is a big big risk. Because chances are this electronic device, you're going to walk up to it one day and it's not going to function, and you're going to have to go back to whatever backup you had before, and we can't guarantee that your backup's going to be complete. And so you have to have this routine of taking your important pictures and your important data and dumping it on a safe place, so that if something happens, you lose your phone, break it, or you lose access to it, and you can still get to your stuff. So what we do, again, she takes a lot of pictures. So what we have is we have 3 services that connect to the phone. We have Google Photos, we have Dropbox, and we have OneDrive. And we have both Google Drive. I'm sorry, we have Google Photos and we have Dropbox that are actively upload our pictures as we take them. So it always runs in the background. It's always connected. We take a picture and within a couple minutes, it's already been uploaded to their server. Now, the quality drops a little bit when it gets uploaded to one of these services. So where you might have had a 2 meg file that was your picture before, when it actually is up there on Google Pictures or it's up there on Dropbox, it shrunk down considerably. I mean, you could still make a picture out of it. You could still use it on Facebook. You could still share it, and it looks decent. It's not grainy or anything. But if you're doing a big poster print from it, you're going to lose some of the clarity off of it because it's not the same version that came out of your camera. So what you want to do, and when you get pictures that are important, that are print worthy, you're going to want to make something of that. You want to copy them to your computer hard drive or copy them to Dropbox directly. Don't let the synchronization happen because you lose some of that, that crispness, that quality. And so what we'll do is when from month to month or every quarter to every quarter, we will plan on clearing out the iPhone, deleting every picture on the iPhone after we've seen that it's been uploaded. So if nothing has come down, that we took a picture of Ryan or we took a picture somewhere at the park, those aren't those things we want to keep as memories, but we're not necessarily going to print them. So we just let it upload, and that quality is every bit good enough for what we have in mind for it. And then you can go into your phone and you can find your photo albums and you can delete the folders and individual pictures. And if you do it often enough, it's not that big of a chore. If you accumulate a ton of them, then it takes some time to be able to select the folders that you want deleted. They probably have applications that do this a little bit better, but we just plug our phone into a computer, let iTunes be able to mount it as a drive. So when you go under computer, you see iPhone, and we go through the DCIM folder where it stores all of your pictures, and we'll just delete those folders. And you're looking at what's on the phone. So when you delete the folders, they're gone. They're deleted. So open the Dropbox and say that there's no pictures waiting to synchronize. Then we know Dropbox has everything. Go into plug them into the computer, see the folders are there, delete until they're all gone. Verify that the space comes back to our phone, and then we're done for another quarter. And you can always take your time and be able to go through those pictures and see if there are any ones that you want in their full resolution and you want to make pictures of it. And you can just drag those off of your phone and put them on your hard drive, and they're in perfect form. But up to this point, I would say 99.999% of them, Google Photos and the Dropbox versions, are every bit as good. And I haven't even got to 10% of the allocated space. I think they charge me $9 a year for the space on Dropbox, and they give me like up to 1 terabyte. So my phones and my wife's phones have not occupied all of the available space that's up there. So it's really sufficient for how we're using it. So that's my recommendation. You can also do the same thing with like an external drive. If you don't want to pay the yearly fee, you can buy a nice big 2 terabyte or 3 terabyte external hard drive. And then maybe once a month you grab the folders on your phone and you copy them down to the external drive, and then you just keep that one safe. And again, you don't really want your stuff all in one place because the chances of your personal external drive failing is pretty good. The chances of your cloud storage going bad, it's spread over hundreds of pieces of equipment. So the chances are very unlikely that the cloud storage is going to say, oh, wait, we accidentally lost your data. So maybe you take 2 external hard drives and you synchronize them so that you have duplicates. You have to, and it's really like the tripod, the pegs that hold up the stool, right? You have to have the original, you have to have the synchronization, and then you have to have one source of redundancy. If you're able to get those 3 pegs, you're always going to be able to recover from anything that should happen. So if you have a tornado, okay, well, the tornado took out my device, it took out my external drive, but it didn't take out the cloud. So you have one thing that's going to save you. Or if you're in a pinch and you need something back, well, your local external drive can replace those files like way quicker than downloading them from the cloud. So that becomes your source. But if you always manage 3 points of redundancy, you'll always be able to recover from almost everything that could happen to you. And that includes these stupid encryption viruses. Those things, those ransomware viruses, they're still everywhere. And this year we probably responded to maybe 5 or 6 of them. and all of them we were able to use a backup and restore them back to the configuration prior to the ransomware and then clean up the ransomware. But I've heard of plenty of companies, businesses who get hit with it and they take down their system and there wasn't any recovery and it just took them down for the count. So we have to build in our planning when we do these networks on how to respond when that happens. Not if it happens, when it happens, what we're going to do. And in most cases, we were able to bring everybody back within the hour because of how we plan this stuff out. So 330. Let me give you the number for Youngstown Computer. If any of this stuff interests you, you want us to support your networks, you want to bring us in as your IT staff, 330-259-7278. And you also can schedule your own appointments at youngstowncomputer.com. You can book commercial appointments by just selecting the commercial icon and then the service, either a maintenance service or a windowed service. And you can get those scheduled. And so anybody who hasn't, we've been on the air for years. We've been supporting this area for years. If anybody doesn't know us, you can check us out over there. But feel free to book your own appointments, and we will get you on the schedule for Monday. That's one cool thing is that when I used to be able to say, hey, call us on Monday and we'll put you on the calendar, you had to wait for us to get around to being in the front of a phone to be able to do that. Now you can just do it yourself. You could just book your own appointments. I love that. It's one of my favorite things. An idea that I had last night, we were talking earlier in the program about when we start manufacturing, we manufacture these computers, we build in the failure rate of the hardware that we buy at less than 5%, which means for every 100 computers we sell, we're expecting 5 computers to go down for the count and us have to replace a complete new computer for whoever purchased that deal. Now, because of how we do things, we haven't had to replace any of those computers. There's been cases like in Gene's case where he probably has like a video card that needs straightened out, where that stuff is, built into the equation. There's still 4 computers that I was planning on just replacing, and I don't have to do it now. I was thinking like, I'm going to have these resources that I don't have to put back into making those services right. I got to find a do-good type of place for it. So taking, a school or a nonprofit or something like that and letting them benefit from those extra resources that we accumulate just because of how, well we're planning this out. So we there's a we're going to donate some of our time to a venue downtown. And, I was thinking about like how much of this could we just build into our stuff for free? Because I don't like devaluing what we do, but I also want to do really good things for people, not necessarily because they can't afford to do it for themselves. I just feel like for every dollar that we can save an institution, they could they have a better chance to run their marketing, or they have a better chance of survival because we made one of their costs a little bit lower. And as long as we have that kind of cooperation where I don't do free work for anybody, I don't do free work for anybody because I think our people are way too valuable to do free work. But I will invest spare time into people in the hopes that through that cooperation makes everybody stronger as a whole. And I would be totally glad to take spare resources like computers that we didn't end up using, or somebody's idle afternoon that they weren't going to use anyway, or something like that, and use it to do some good. And it doesn't just have to be downtown. And I know I put a lot of my effort into supporting and helping downtown, but it doesn't have to be just downtown. If we're a whole community that stretches all the way from Lake Erie all the way down to down to West Virginia and everything in between. And, all of that stuff affects our economy and our people and the labor here. And so, I think over the last couple of years, because I've moved downtown and then onto Western Reserve Road, and I keep migrating south. Eventually, I'll be in Florida before you know it. But I want to maybe spread some attention up into Trumbull County and northern Trumbull County. I don't hear from you guys all that much up that way. And if there's, I'm trying to think of some good stuff that I can do, maybe pushed up towards Niles and Warren. And I'm sure there's some good things happening up there. I just don't have as many connections up that way because I live so far away from it. So if you know of anybody who could use a little bit of extra resources pumped in, I'm going to have some at the end of the year. We're doing really, really well. It's one of the highest revenue years that we've ever had, not only because of the hardware and the equipment that we've been selling, but also because services have just been off the charts. We've been so super busy and just needing so much more staff. Just couldn't be more excited. But we're going to keep spreading that around, not only creating jobs and putting together products here, but also pumping in some gratis or some spare energy into someone who could really use it. So if you know somebody out there that could really use some help, and again, this isn't charity. This is somebody who who literally could be of benefit, where they can be stronger because of a little assistance, please let them know, or let me know that they're out there. And that way, when it comes time to spread this out, that we have a chance we know about them. So 330-729-9977. Let's see. Joe, you mentioned using backup for your photos on your phone. What's the opinion of using your SD card as I make sure I get a phone that still uses those? Yeah, that's great. In fact, that's a big benefit of having an Android phone, is that they're more friendly to having extended storage, where you can put your own storage on there, have the pictures, and then have your photos dump into the removable storage. And then when you're done, you put a blank one in there, you take the other one out, and now your pictures are all safe on the SD card. So that's a great utilization for Android. Now, on the iPhone side, you're a little bit more limited as to what you could do with storage. So that's why we've had to get a little bit more creative with how we dump stuff off of there, just because there's no good interfaces for SD cards. So I hope that answers your question. And what's nice about that is you're not limited by what ships with the phone. You want to put a sextillion byte SD card in there, go for it. And I'm sure it has limitations, but you can set it yourself. And then I do look in the future. Like I find myself, I have a flash drive in my pocket, right? And I usually take a 128 gig flash drive, because if I ever have to transfer anything or do a backup or whatever, it's usually enough, and it's small enough to take anywhere. I'm thinking that phone right there has just as much capacity on that. I mean, why can't I just interface that thing as a big old flash drive? And maybe you can, but I want like an easy version where I can use it as a flash drive. I plug it in with a USB cable, and I could take a folder and designate some of the space that I have on the internal drive and just use it like it were a flash drive. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of reasons why I can, but that would be nice to not have to do that. The computer that we have here is still somewhat restrained because of that storage, when it could be, it's a small package, and that memory is really expensive memory. The battery is really expensive. The display is really expensive. The memory is really expensive. And that's why these things are $1,000 deals, because they're really, when you start getting that small and you start getting with that capacity, the batteries in iPhones are like alien technology. They're amazing. For what's in it, you get really, really good battery life out of it. And so, I'm thinking that maybe in the future, maybe in the next revision, when Apple gets in a real big innovation cycle again, that maybe we'll look at these things and being able to store all of your stuff on your phone, and then everything syncs to the cloud and is usable from the cloud. Like you can do iCloud right now and do that kind of synchronization, and you do your backups from it. But I don't think you can sort of like carve out and just do specific things, like your folder for pictures get treated as pictures. I think it's an all or nothing where it just backs everything up. I may be wrong, but anyway, the iPhone software came out Friday, and so we're now on version 13. And I did the version 13 upgrade, and I will tell you that you're going to get extremely terrible battery life for the first couple weeks that you do one of these major upgrades. You got to understand that the battery and the software, all of the metrics that go into saving battery space. There's a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes that some software that optimizes battery control and CPU usage and memory usage and the display. And until it gets a chance to evaluate your usage, it's really poor at being able to defend against battery drain. So in those first couple of weeks, while you let those algorithms populate with actual data, it's very bad. So if you do the upgrade, plan on charging more often for the first couple weeks until it gets to know you again. And don't do anything special with it during that period of time, because you're not going to trick it into giving you a better battery, and it's not going to get to know your real usage, from that standpoint. So use it as normal. Just charge it more often than you would normally charge it. Maybe plan on plugging it in your car more often. Charge it at night. Make sure you don't skip that. And that way, when your algorithms and the intelligence behind it returns, then it will get back to where it used to be. But it's been terrible. I mean, it's 2:00 in the 2:30 in the afternoon, and my phone died already. My phone is used to getting me till about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock before I start noticing that's at the 20%. I mean, it's dead by 2. That's a considerable amount of battery drain and loss. So keep that in mind if you are an iPhone user. This most recent update, but the update is amazing. I'm telling you, it's one of the best that I've seen in a while come out of Apple. I like the new dark themes that come out of it. I'm setting it so almost like, how Outlook allows you to have the light theme where everything's white and light gray. Well, this one's dark and it's lighter. It's easier on the eyes. There's bigger contrast on it. It's for me. I like it because I get up at 4:30 in the morning and get going. So looking at my phone or getting news updates on my phone at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I like the darkness of it way better than this bright lights that permeate the back of my eyeballs. Not a real fun thing. All right, so we got one more topic after this break. We'll come back and wind that down. So far, this has been an awesome show. I enjoy being back. We were off a couple weeks, but I'm glad to be back in this seat again. All right, 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Dan Rivers. We have a show every morning at 8:07. We're on till noon. We hope you can join us. But if you do happen to miss it, remember, you can hear the program on the podcast. Just search Dan Rivers, 570 WKBN.
Right now at Menards, get huge savings throughout the store during the fall catalog sale. Add comfort and style to your home with new carpet from Mohawk. McAllister plush carpet or perfect style frisee carpet. Available in 2 colors each. Are your choice only $119 a square foot. Plus, get free carpet pad with purchase after rebate. Now during Menards fall catalog sale. Sale prices are good through Saturday, September 21st.
Save big money at Menards.
Belleria Pizza and Italian Restaurant in Struthers invites you to sample its wide variety of menu items, including pizza, pasta, wings, salads, and appetizers. Be sure to ask about daily and nighttime specials. Open 7 days a week at 1010 Youngstown Poland Road. Call 330-755-4667. Belleria Pizza and Italian Restaurant in Struthers wishes best of luck to all Youngstown State University teams.
We sell the taste one bite at a time. At Belleria.
When your vehicle needs collision and paint repairs, you want quick, reliable service you can trust. Coal Valley Collision Center has been a leader in service and repairs for 104 years. They are I-CAR Gold Class certified for their commitment to professionalism and skill when serving their customers. Coal Valley Collision is a charter member of the Cadillac Aluminum Repair Network, and they feature a state-of-the-art paint booth, frame aligning capabilities, and much more. Visit coalvalleycollision.com for more information and to schedule your appointment today.
The iHeartRadio app is
sort of like Netflix for my podcasts, but it's free, which is way better.
Podcasts are the new big thing, and I can find all the ones I love.
It lets me have the radio with me everywhere.
You get radio, you get your favorite artists whenever you want.
I can listen to stations from back home.
Anywhere I go, it makes me feel right at home.
Yeah, everything's all together. It's like a one-stop shop, basically.
the iHeartRadio app. Radio, music, podcasts, all free. Free never sounded better. Download the iHeartRadio app today.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. And after that commercial, iHeart really has this thing right with podcasting. We always ask, like, the millennial generation, the next generation, how are they going to accumulate their news? Where it was, we're used to going out to our favorite news sources and fetching the stuff that we need. Remember, they're going to be in the world of algorithms that the algorithms go fetch what they need. And so podcasting, where you can sort of have access to all this content, and then your profile collects the stuff that would apply to you, that's more likely how it's going to happen. So if you were to put your investment in the connection of content, that would be the way that I do it. So I think iHeart is nailing it with being involved in that the distribution, using their app the way that it is, having their own technology to be able to do it. I'm a big not just because this is the home of this radio show, but also just as an observer of trying to figure out the model that every media is going to go. And you have companies that, like the music industry, who waited until people were downloading MP3s to say that cassettes weren't going to be it or the discs weren't going to be it, and we've got to adopt or embrace the digital media. It took the threat of them not being able to have a living in order to make changes. But this iHeart thing is so totally before the curve and ahead of time with their buying into an ecosystem and creating an ecosystem that is much more likely for the next generation to connect with. Like we're figuring it out. It's still great. I love being able to listen to live content and recorded content all within the same app. That's amazing to me. Where I listen to the Sunday stuff. I go to church on Sunday, but it makes me miss Morris Ray's show, and I get to listen to a little bit of Dr. Vico before I get to my duties on Sunday. But because of the app, I can listen to the live feed, or I can listen to what just happened a half hour ago. So big props to iHeart for how they're embracing the podcasting technology, and even peppering lots of stuff with original content and with the Ron Burgundy show. I mean, it's amazing. Got comedy content. I think they're doing it right. So great job. Props to iHeart. Text message, Joe, just want to let you know I had my old Dell upgraded at your shop almost a year ago. A solid state 1 gig drive, power pack, and upgraded to Windows 10. Oops, wrong way. And then and it's still working like a charm. Awesome. Yeah, and there's a period where whenever the solid state drives really started to make financial sense. Like for the longest time, we really loved them and they were fast, but they were like $250. And if you brought a $500 computer to me and I told you it was going to be $250 for the drive plus $100 and something to transfer your stuff, you're almost rebuying the computer over again. But then solid state drives kept coming in, and now they were 75, and now they were 80. They were doable where we can include it as part of a service, and you can just go from mechanical drive to solid state drive. And that's still true. If you're operating on a mechanical drive, one that spins, right, it is very economical to go to a solid state drive. It was 128 gig drives, then 256, and then it was 512s. And now we're starting to buy 1 terabyte solid state drives that are killing the performance of mechanical drives. So if the rest of the computer is great, you can get many more years out of the computer because your performance goes through the roof. Usually your slowest component in the computer is going to be your hard drive. As it spins and it does disk access, we're moving all around to find your data. Solid state's like instantaneous. So you get direct performance. The best performance gain that you're going to get is out of going from a mechanical drive to a solid state drive. And it's going to feel like a brand new computer. So if it's in pretty good condition otherwise, the operating system's good, schedule yourself with us to do a solid state drive upgrade. Pay for the services. That's a service. It's 2 hours. And just make notation that we'll sell you some hardware and we'll get the solid state drive. But it's a well worthwhile. I make a personal recommendation that I will not operate on a computer that has a mechanical drive after having used a solid state drive. Just let us know if you need a 500 gig or a 1 terabyte solid state drive. If you have lots of storage, you don't want to waste solid state storage on things like movies and stuff like that. I mean, you could do that on an external drive, or you can do that on a mechanical drive. But if you're operating, you want to be operating off of the solid state, which is really fast. 330-259-7278. That's our office number. Youngstowncomputer.com is our web address. Click on Book Now to book your appointments coming up next week. Great show. Thanks, everybody, for participating. I think we're going to be back next week. Get back in the schedule, not getting bumped off for football. But anyway, go OSU, and have a great rest of the weekend. You've now listened to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. Have a great one.